Welcome to the Savvy Podcast, the 20-minute podcast to improve your listening skills, learn real vocabulary through interesting conversations. If you don't know us, we are a team of online English coaches with one main goal: help you, our student, achieve your goals with English. Get you closer to fluency and communicating with confidence. And if you have trouble with listening and find it difficult to understand a group of people speaking English, then you have chosen exactly the right podcast to listen to. Our promise to you, our listener: no slow teacher voices, no irrelevant idioms, but real, authentic pronunciation and vocabulary we actually use, explained as we use it in context. You will hear from a variety of guests, from savvy coaches to our savvy students, with different backgrounds, experiences and expertise to share. We'll focus on a different topic each week. Oh, I'm Sam, by the way, a savvy coach. And before we get started, I have a question. Do you know that 20 minutes a day accumulates to 10 hours a month? Build the habit of listening to a natural English conversation every day for 20 minutes. That's my first recommendation to you as your coach and host. Build the habit, change your life. Now let's get started, shall we? Today we're very fortunate to have both savvy sisters who started this whole project. So hello to the two best bosses, Lucy and Jolie. How are you today?
Wow, what an introduction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, Sam.
Hello.
How are we doing? Good. Manos a la obra.
Great expression.
Thank you very much. What is it in English, please, Jolie?
Let's get down to business.
Let's get down to business.
But shall we? Let's get down to business, shall we?
With that question tag.
Yeah, beautiful intonation from our coach, Lucy. Could you repeat it again just to show our students?
Absolutely. So let's get down to business, shall we?
That is beautiful. So where are you from, Jolie? Where did you learn such beautiful English?
Well, I am from a city called Portsmouth in the south of England. It's on the south coast, complete opposite end of the country from Lucy. So I am a southerner, and to me, maybe not to you, but to me, she is a northerner. Where are you from, Luce?
So I'm from Nottingham, which is right in the centre of the island. And many of you might have heard of Robin Hood. Well, that's me.
Oh, Miss Wenner.
And Lucy Hingley.
Exactly.
And Miss Wenner it rings a bell. So if you recognise something, you can say it rings a bell. So Robin Hood for me rings a bell. And myself, let's keep travelling north through the UK. I'm from Yorkshire, which is the most beautiful part of the UK. I recommend a visit to all of our listeners. But
it's not sponsored.
Okay, so why Valencia then, Jolie?
So good question. Why Valencia? So in my case, I was 23 when I came to Spain, and I decided Valencia because I knew one person from here. I had my heart set on Spain. I wanted to create a life for myself in another European city somewhere. I knew Spain, but I hadn't decided where, and my friend recommended me Valencia just for its size. You know, it wasn't as big and as scary as Madrid or Barcelona. It was, perfect. And it still is, you know. Probably one of the best decisions I ever made was to move to the city.
Beautiful. And yourself, Lucy, why and when did you make the journey to Valencia?
The journey. When did you get on the boat?
On the boat, exactly.
Get on that Ryanair flight.
So I've been living here for 7.5 years, touching 8. And again, the best decision. I would never regret it, and I never look back. I always told my mum I'd be here for 1 year, and I'm still here. So sorry, Mum. So I moved here because I was kind of stuck in a rut a little bit back at home.
Stuck in a rut means when you're not moving, you're in the same job, nothing is changing, everything is continuing, and many times when you're stuck in a rut, you need to make a change.
Exactly, exactly, and that's what I did. So I thought, I was 29, and I thought if I don't make the move now, I never will, and here I am.
Here you are. And in these beautiful stories, when was Savi born?
So Savi was born in early 2021, I would say. So just after everything kicked off with the pandemic.
To kick off is another good one. We're doing a lot of expressions here. So to kick off is to start something.
Yeah.
In business, I'm sure we have a lot of business people listening to. You often have a kick-off meeting at the start of a project.
Exactly. So when everything,
sorry to interrupt. Continue.
No.
Continue.
When everything kicked off with COVID, the world changed a bit. With respect to English classes. So people suddenly opened their mind up to this prospect of having classes online and just realised how much more comfortable and convenient they were compared to going to an academy, driving to the academy, finding somewhere to park. That all took a lot of time. And an online class that lasts an hour is an hour. So it became really convenient. So lots of people suddenly wanted to learn English online. So Lucy and I realised, hold on, if we have all of these ideas, we want to create our own English academy, we don't need the money anymore to rent a place. We can just do it online. We can start our own academy online. So we did. We started meeting in a coffee shop.
And now we have a
week.
podcast as well.
I know, can't believe it.
Now, Lucy, could you tell me what's unique about Savi and what inspired it?
Okay, so obviously we're really passionate and we really listen to our students, and we still do now. And we just wanted something that's very different to other English academies. So just cutting a long story short.
That's a good one.
Beautiful. Jolie, I can't remember the translation of that one. Could you help me out, please?
Yes, resumidas cuentas.
Beautiful pronunciation, by the way, in Spanish.
Thank
you've been practicing.
Long story short. It's a good one, that one, actually.
Okay. So to cut a long story short, we are very personalised. So we don't work from a generic book. We personalise every single class. We listen to our students' goals and we implement those into our classes. On the other hand, or should I say furthermore, I'd like to teach that to my students. Furthermore
is Adamas.
Thank you, Sam.
We don't need Jolie for that one.
We implement habits. So we listen to their daily routine, and we coaches, we help them implement a habit. As we say, we look at 20 minutes a day and we help build those habits within their daily lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And I noticed a few weeks back, I had a PDF sent from you with Atomic Habits by James Clear, I believe. I've read it, but can you tell me how that affected your thinking with Savi?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you haven't read the book, Atomic Habits, it talks about the science behind implementing habits and how you can do certain things to make it more likely that you complete them, that you follow through with them. And we realized that we didn't want to be a generic English academy. The goal is to help the student achieve their goals. So on the one hand, we make sure that our classes are super personalized so that they're actually learning things that serve them. And then on the other hand, instead of generic, traditional homework, it's more about how can we look at your daily routine and how can we adapt your habits so that you are dedicating a minimum of 20 minutes a day. That time, over time, accumulates and ultimately is the difference between reaching your goals with English or not. And we really wanted to bring that element from the book into our coaching.
And honestly, do you practice what you preach?
That is a great expression, actually, for anyone who's listening that doesn't know this one. Practice what you preach is predicar con el ejemplo.
Wow.
And I love it. It's such a good one, and it's true. And we do practice what we preach because we have to. We're coaches and we really do believe in what we do. And so, yes, so I'm reading another book at the moment in the mornings with my coffee to try and improve my Spanish vocabulary. And yeah, Lucy, you're having classes?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm having my Spanish classes with our fantastic coach at Savvy English, or should I say Savvy Spanish now?
Yeah.
And of course, and just to carry on with what Jolie was saying, that this trimester we have implemented our habit with our coaches.
Yes.
And we're all reading together Atomic Habits and brainstorming, getting together our ideas every week.
Good. And now you mentioned we're starting a new year here. I think it's the third year of Savvy, or fourth
It's
year?
the fourth academic year, yeah.
Fourth academic year.
So we launched in September 2021.
Okay. And how have you evolved from that first day to the fourth year?
Well, that's a good question, and an incredible story. So I know Jolie had mentioned a coffee shop earlier in the podcast, and we first started basically our ideas on a napkin, and that is so true, absolutely. And we first started just the two of us, my brilliant colleague next to me, and I never looked back. It's been brilliant. It was first started with the two of us, and now we've just grown from the 2 to 16.
I know.
Plus our
16 babies.
Exactly.
16 savvy babies.
And amazing coaches. We have a brilliant team.
Our team is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, could you tell us a little bit about who's in the team?
Yeah.
Who's the best teacher?
Of course, she's Sam.
Hint, hint. We've got, there are 16 of us now. And
just to jump in, sorry, Jolie, the German, French.
Yes, of course. So we're not only just there. Go on.
I'm going to jump in.
Again?
On the jump in. But to jump in is when you want to interrupt someone and you want to put across your idea at that time. Anyway, Jolie, jump in on me and continue.
Yeah, thank you. As Lucy was just saying, we also have some other teachers who teach other languages as well now. So we're 16 English coaches, but we also have an Italian teacher, French, German, and pending Portuguese as well, who's going to join our team. So yeah, we never imagined when we first started that we'd expand into other languages too. So that's been amazing, really.
Mm-hmm,
How's your Portuguese?
Portuguese, very bad. Yeah. But in answer to your question about our team, so our team is absolutely fantastic. Obviously, us sat around the table now, we're all from different parts of England, but we also have teachers from Ireland. Our very first teacher, who sadly left us this year, was from Ireland and is now living there again.
I think he's still from Ireland.
He's still from Ireland. Yeah.
Good tip, report at speed. Teach that.
Yeah. And we also have 3 teachers from Argentina who are amazing, and Michael from Australia. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're covering a lot of ground. Oh, and Paul as well. Paul's an interesting one. So Paul was born in Belfast but grew up in California. So for anyone who needs that exposure to an American accent, we now have an American accent on the books.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but we finally got him.
Okay, and that leads me on to say during this podcast we'll be meeting a lot of these teachers and also some students who I will be interviewing along the way. But today we're going to call it a day.
Good one.
Like
Good
it.
expression.
Yeah, could one of you explain it?
It means to finish something.
To finish
so in the context of this podcast, we're going to call it a day, or let's call it a day.
Shall we?
With
Can
the
I
question
say?
tag.
Go on,
Exactly.
Call it a day.
Repeat it again, Lucy, with that beautiful
I
intonation.
love it. Let's call it a day, shall we?
Beautiful.
Let me just give it another context, put it into another context. Is that okay, Sam?
Yeah, you can.
So you're finishing work and you call it a day. You've had a really long day at work. Let's call it a day for tonight. And I'll start it again or restart it again tomorrow.
Yeah, and you'll go home and study English after that long day at
Of course, Claro.
Exactly. So we'll wrap up there. And I look forward to speaking to you again in the next podcast. And don't forget to download the transcript, which will be in a link below, so that you can read through and check all of the expressions that we have used in this podcast. What a great start. I really enjoyed my conversation with the Savvy sisters, Lucy and Jolie, and I hope you did too. We highlighted a lot of expressions in our short conversation, vocabulary that you can absolutely introduce into your day-to-day too. Whether you're stuck in a rut, kicking off a project, or practicing what you preach, all of these expressions can be found and explained further in the email that complements this podcast. Before today's pod, I gave you my first piece of advice. Build the habit of listening to real English for 20 minutes a day. My second piece of advice is to click the link in the description of this podcast and receive an email from me with further explanations and examples of today's vocabulary. And if you want to suggest certain topics that you'd like to listen to or give us feedback in general, you can reply to that email and give me your suggestions. I'd love to hear from you. So have a beautiful week, and until next time, goodbye.